How do you easily create more network marketing leads with the power of your mind? Is it possible or is it just a bunch of woo woo crap? Well, my name is Karin Angeli from KarinAngeli.com. I teach and train network marketers how to build their business in the online space. And today I want to talk about creating more network marketing leads in a way that you might not have considered before. So listen, I'm here every single week giving you tips, tricks, and strategies on how to build your network marketing business. So go ahead and tap that subscribe button because I'm here every single week and I want to help you. So recently, I was given the privilege to be able to attend one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's 7-day advanced week-long retreat, and it was truly life-changing. It honestly showed me the power that I have right between my ears. And that's honestly what he said to us when we first arrived at the event. He said, "I want to show you just how powerful you are." And when it comes to growing a business, I think it's incredibly important to be able to tap into the power of our minds and actually start creating leads in our business without going and working 10,000 hours. Because let's be honest, we could make ourselves crazy doing that. So it's all about tapping into the power of our minds and actually manifesting the things that we want in life. So recently, my friend Krasilnikoff and I got together and decided to share a little bit of our experience when it came to attending that week-long event. So I want to direct you to our chat that we have had recently, and I want you to listen in and hear all the things we experienced and think about how this relates to building your network marketing business and how it can help you start generating more network marketing leads.
All right, we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And we're here today, Kat Krasilnikoff and Karin Angeli, and
Hi.
we're going to talk about one of the most incredible experiences. You're busy today. I've heard that doorbell ring several times.
I know. The dogs are getting their hair done today, so and I think they know it.
Awesome. So we want to talk about one specific event that happened in both of our lives a couple of weeks ago, and we literally still on the cloud nine, and we can't shut up about it because it impacted our lives so much, and we probably want other people to experience something like this, what we have experienced. So we're going to talk about Dr. Joe Dispenza and a little bit about his work and what he does, because some of you already might be following him, kind of like learning about his work, and some of you can be brand new and hearing some stories and things from people around. But we're going to share a little bit more like what he does, what kind of event it was, and how it impacted our lives, and why we want you to know about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because this was truly a life-changing event. Anybody that asks me about this event, I tell them it's the most meaningful thing that I've ever done. That it's the thing that's made the most sense in the longest time. And I can't shut up about it, just like Kat said. So
yes. And I'm very grateful that we had each other. Well, you had Matthew with you, but I kind of like stuck on you guys. I'm really grateful I wasn't alone at that event, because when you have so many emotions and so many experiences you want to share with somebody, and it's better somebody you know. I mean, I was sharing it with other people, but it's a lot better when you have somebody to process everything, and just knowing it is normal and you're not alone on this journey.
You're not crazy. You're not having crazy moments right now. It does feel like that though sometimes.
So tell me, how long you've been following Dr. Joe Dispenza? Maybe how did you found him? Like, what was your first point of interest and why you decided to pursue this interest?
Yeah. So I started following Dr. Joe. It was about 5 years ago. I had a mentor of mine at the time. She had gone to one of his progressive retreats and she was raving about him. And she told me that I needed to pick up his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And the minute I picked up his book and started reading, I knew that there was magic in there. Like I had never heard the concepts before. I had literally like every single page, I just wanted more. So I work in the operating room too. And I'm literally reading this book through every second in the operating room while my patient's asleep. And I can't get enough. I just want to keep reading it. So
maybe not a good advertising for your profession. I'm pretty sure you made sure your people are safe.
Oh, yes, my people are safe.
But yeah, this is kind of work When they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears, this is probably how it happens. And it was very similar um, in my experience. So it's kind of like I was doing all this business, learning about new business, and I was doing all the right things and all the right strategies, but it just was not happening for me.
Right.
And I was wondering why, like, what is it that I'm not getting? What is wrong with me? And somebody told me, you need to read that book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And honestly, it was too sciencey for me, but for you, it was just right.
It was
Knowing
perfect.
like your science background and medical background, because he's not only, you know, like if I go to the next question to describe like what kind of work he does, so people better understand. So it's kind of like that law of attraction, the manifestation part of how to get what you want a lot easier, right? We all know about it, but we think it's a bunch of woo-woo crap. And it works for some woo-woo people, but it doesn't work for normal people.
Right.
Well, he breaks it down to the cells, to your brain waves, to your DNA, to your blood, to the all energy thing. And he makes it so simple, and it makes so much sense that you finally start understanding why your life the way it is right now and what you need to do to change it. So that's why I read that book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And although it was too sciencey for me, I still like hung on to the concept and did some of the work. And I watched myself transform from very self-doubting, introverted, low self-confidence, low self-esteem person who always thought that the good things happen to someone else.
People,
and I have to work really hard to be lucky in life because it seems like they're lucky and I'm not. And I transformed my whole entire life, and I literally live my dreams right now. So that's kind of like how I started my journey. Once you learn something, you can't unlearn it.
Right.
Yeah. So and tell me.
So just to piggyback on the sciencey part. So I just think it's funny every time somebody says it's like super sciencey for me, like what you just said, where it was like, there was a lot of science and it was almost too much for me. If it hadn't had all of that science, I would have been gone. I literally am that skeptic that, like I need to see proof. I need to see. And the more I read, the more I was like, oh my gosh, this is proven. Like they've literally sat people down, put little EEG monitors on people, heart rate monitors on people, and they're seeing the effects of people that are doing the work that Joe Dispenza teaches. And so just really fascinating to see all of that. And for me, for the skeptical people, I mean, that's really where it's at. If you can show me that it works, then I am all in and I want to know more. And so that's what I loved about him, because I've seen some of this stuff, like you said before, the woo-woo stuff. And it's like, okay, but how do you prove it? And you like people that have experienced it. And now that I've experienced it, I know it's true. But if you haven't fully experienced it, you kind of feel like, oh, it's not for me. Just like you said, like, oh, that won't work for me. It's not possible. But when you see somebody, especially like see somebody on stage sharing their testimonial of how they've healed themselves by doing this work, by going through those scientific methods and doing the things that he teaches, and you're hearing their testimonial and you're just like, if they can do it, I can do it. I know that's what started me in network marketing, where it was like, if that person can do that thing, they're no different than me. I can do that thing. And so when he breaks down that science and just makes it so tangible, it makes you realize that you're able to do this as well. So
yeah,
my little tidbit.
Absolutely. So if we had to explain to someone who never heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza or never read any of his books, how would you describe what is it that he does?
So for me, he literally he broke down every step of the way. So sometimes when you start following people that are teaching meditation, it almost feels like they're this much higher than you and you're never going to catch up. And he breaks it down, like his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He literally takes you through. He starts with the science and then he goes step by step on how to meditate, how to actually quiet your mind and do the things. And so it's literally this step-by-step process of the how-to, which for anybody that's ever tried to meditate, everybody that I tell that I meditate for an hour or more every single day looks at me like, how? Like, I don't even know how to quiet my brain for a minute, let alone an hour. And it's just funny because now that I've been doing it for that amount of time, I don't know how you could not. And it's because he's able to break down the how-to and really helps you understand that okay, your brain goes off on tangents at first, and that's okay. I think that when you're first starting in meditation, and really in anything in life, we feel like we have to be so perfect at it. And with meditation, you're just not going to be perfect at it because you have trained your brain to go all these different directions. And it's all about taking the time with yourself and walking yourself back and going, okay, no, we're gonna keep doing this. Like, we're gonna keep going, even though I want to think about all these different things. And he just does it. He teaches you in such a way that you're able to really break it down for yourself and keep yourself moving forward. So, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like, how would I describe what he does? So basically, how was it for me? So I lived a normal life. I didn't think there was something wrong with me or something needed to be changed. But at some point, there was like a little nagging voice inside of me telling there's something more out there in life. You can do so much more than what you're doing right now. So basically, my life was less and less fulfilling, although I had enough of physical things in my life. I was making enough money. I had amazing relationship with my husband, awesome kids, kind of like everything that you can possibly want and need in your physical life. But my inner whatever soul was crying for help. Like there was something was missing and it wouldn't leave me alone. So when I got on this journey of network marketing, out of all the journeys it could go, it was kind of like that entry point where it challenges your soul. Like, well, now get out of your comfort zone and start doing that. How are you going to deal with this thing, right? And it's kind of like the path of growth. So that's how it all started. And like I said, I would do all the right things and nothing would happen. And like, what is it wrong with me? So I realized that I was living basically in the energy of the past. So when you have same emotions, when you do same thing every single day, you predict your future based on all of what things you did in the past and you do in the present. And if you want to change your future, you basically need to change your present state of mind, state of energy, and the future will catch up with your current state of energy. And he breaks it down so smoothly and so easily. So it actually wasn't his second book. I think it's like his fourth book, but second, my book for him, Becoming Supernatural. When that book came out, that made total sense to me. And I've actually never meditated before. When there's point in the books when he teaches what that's how you do it, you meditate. And I was like, seriously? You can manifest your life and your future by sitting for 20 minutes and staring into nowhere, or to me, it was the bizarre total activity. I'm like, how I think you need to go in somewhere, do something and plan things and arrange things. And so, but he teaches you, instead of focusing on the outer world, you need to change your inner world. So your outer world will match up with what's going on the inside. So, and it was a huge aha moment for me. It's kind of like, if you want to have more events happening in your life that make you feel abundant, that make you feel worthy, that make you feel like you're unlimited and on top of the world, if you want those events happening to you, you got to start feeling like it right now. And I was feeling totally opposite, right? I was feeling worthless, depressed, worried, and all those things. And it creates more events that would make you feel that way. So when that aha moment happened for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to dive more deeper into what he teaches and figure out. At that point, I was like, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. Just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. It made sense. Yeah. So why did you decide to go to the event? Because it's 7 days, not like some weekend getaway. It's a 7-day full-blown, from early morning to late evenings, hands-on workshop. Why did you decide to go?
So for me, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And I had been wanting to go to one of his events ever since my mentor told me about him, because she had even said it's truly the most life-changing thing I've ever done. And I was instantly intrigued, because I was like, really? Like, I've done a lot of things in life, but what could possibly be more life-changing than what I've already done? And when I read his book, it was like instantly I just got it. And I was like, I want to be a part of this. And so at my first network marketing company, my upline and I, we actually had talked quite a bit about going to one of his events. And we ended up being on the wait list for one of his events, which apparently at his event that we were just at, he said their wait list is like 9,000 people long. So people wait to go on his events because they're worth it. Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, so we were on the wait list and we didn't go at the time, but I always
always had it in the back of my brain that I wanted to go. And then lots of turmoil happened in my business. And I got angry for a long time. I'm not going to lie. Like that's just how my state of mind was. And I wasn't happy for a long time. And it wasn't until the beginning of 2020 that I was like, I can't keep living like this. I'm not happy. And I need a change. So I started doing all sorts of different things differently in my life. I started focusing on what I was eating. I was focusing on my exercise. I was focusing on taking care of my body because that was not something that I had been doing. And all the while that I was angry and frustrated, I remember thinking to myself, I just can't get focused to meditate. Like I couldn't. And I would meditate, but it wasn't awesome. It was like great that I was doing it, but it was more like a check off the box kind of deal that I did it instead of really healing my body. And in 2020, I was like, this has got to change. And so I just jumped in the deep end and was like, all right, I am going to start meditating every single day for an hour. And come hell or high water, I'm going to do it. And so I did. I started meditating so Joe Dispenza actually has his own like library of different meditations that you can do. And I already had some from previously, but I really dug into his library again and started buying new ones because I wanted to really up my game. And I found some that truly helped me have some pretty phenomenal moments with myself, like some pretty transcendental moments with myself. And I had decided in 2020 that I wanted to go to one of his events because that was going to be part of my healing. And so in October, so actually this was before COVID hit that I decided that I wanted to go to one of his events. And then they ended up canceling everything until October. And so I was like, well, it's okay. I can still go in October. They were going to go to Marco Island. I live in Florida. So I was like, that's perfect. I'm supposed to be there kind of thing. But whenever I went to sign up for that event, I went and I signed up 30 minutes late and I couldn't get in. And so I went on the wait list and we all know how long that wait list is. And so I was slightly disappointed, but really hopeful that I would still be able to go. And then they opened up another one in Marco Island because there had been such a big like excitement that Dr. Joe was doing his events again. And so I was like, oh, maybe I can go in November. But the times didn't work out. And I could feel that there was something that wasn't in alignment with that event. I remember talking to a friend about it and being like, I want to go, but I don't know if this is the right event for me. And I couldn't tell you the reason at the time. And I may not know until like 5 years down the road. Okay, I was supposed to be, I actually do know that I was supposed to be at the Orlando event. But I don't know what it was that I wasn't supposed to be at the November event. But anyway, so I ended up not going to either the October or November events, but I remember thinking, okay, I got to figure out for next year when I can go. So I looked at the entire calendar for 2021 and realized that the only dates that I could really make work were in September. And I was really kind of disappointed with that, but was like, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. And I'm going to continue to do the work in the meantime until I get there.
Almost like the whole year from November to December.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was going to be a long time, but I was kind of like, it's worth it. I'm going to make it happen. So it's so funny how things work out. I remember meditating in the morning and I had like a spot on, like that was a real, something's going to happen today kind of meditation. Like I just manifested something and I don't know what it was. And I remember saying that to a friend after my meditation. I picked up my phone and was like, I don't know what just happened, but that felt really good. And I don't know what it is that I'm going to manifest today, but it's something big. And so I'm just on the internet and I'm playing around on Dr. Joe's website. And I don't know what brought me to his events page, but I started looking through his events page. And it was the craziest thing. There was an Orlando event in April on the exact week that I had asked off from work. And it was like all the stars had aligned. And I was just like, I have to go to that. Like I knew immediately that I was supposed to be there. And so I was like, all right, Matthew, we're signing up. The day that it goes live, you got to jump in for me and help us get signed up for this thing because I have to be at that event. So it was like a totally meant to be deal. So.
Well, now I feel like it was meant to be for me, but it was a little bit more unintentional. Like you intended it to happen and you kind of like worked with your energy for it to happen. And I feel like I didn't work at all. Maybe I did. It just kind of like got easier for me. I don't know. So
yeah,
when I remember when you read his book, which was probably 3 years ago, that Becoming Supernatural, he describes kind of like what they do at those workshops in the book. And I would think like, oh, that would be cool to go one day. But I didn't intend, how you just think, oh, it would be cool to go, but you don't really think that you would go.
Right.
It was like, oh, that's not going to happen to me, but it would be cool if I could
Right.
experience. So that's when it first happened, when I just planted a thought and thought, well, that would be cool to go to one of these events. But at that time, I couldn't afford it. I was working full-time job, 3 little kids. I mean, how do you even pull this stuff together? So I put that idea on the very back burner. But I threw the rock into the unknown, right? And it makes waves. So I made those waves somewhere, somehow. And I remember I started looking more into his work later, like after I already accomplished so many things. And somehow he kept popping back, and he kept popping back in my journey. Like it's either someone will share a quote or the YouTube will show him to me. So he was always in front of my brain all the time. And I would watch a lot of testimonials from other people from the events. And I would follow his groups on social media, people who've been at the events. So this energy of me going kept kind of like growing. Like it would be really cool. But I didn't intend to go, honestly. I just thought it would be really cool if ever someday I could go. And suddenly, because I'm subscribed to his emails, I get an email saying that we open in Orlando event and the registration coming in soon. And the first thing I thought when I saw that Orlando, I thought about you. Like because we've been sharing this experience, not much even, just like a little bit here and there. So, but the first person popped in my head, it was you, because you live in Orlando and you follow him. So I kind of like wanted to let you know, like, oh my gosh, oh my God, did you? Oh my God! You were like, yeah, I'm going. And then I was like, heck, I am going to. Yeah. So that's when I decided I'm going. But I didn't even realize that it's not that easy to get in these events. But I knew at that time that I am going. Like, that's it. So, and then I actually forgot. Like, forgot when they were going to send email, when the registration, when the actual event is. I forgot all of those things. The only thing I knew that in April, I'm going to Orlando. That's it. That for the intensive workshop. And then you send me a message saying, hey, registration started 5 minutes ago. Did you do yours? Get on. I grabbed my phone and I did it. and I got it. So it was very effortless for me. Like I didn't go through the whole year of planning and, wanting it. It just happened kind of like effortlessly. And honestly, I didn't know what to expect from this event. I felt like I'm not ready. I felt like I didn't do the work. Like people were meditating for years before coming to this event. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just read his books. I loved what he does. I understood what all it means. And I wanted to be someone like you, meditating and understanding and feeling. I wasn't doing any of those things. So when I came to the event, I was like an open book. I didn't know what to expect. Yeah. What should I do? I never meditated for 2 hours straight in my life. Not even saying 4 hours. 4 hours. Multiple times, not even saying we had to do it from 4 a.m. till 8 p.m. with basically just food and bathroom breaks. Like if somebody told me that I would be able to do that and not feeling tired and not feeling naggy and not I felt whiny. So good at the end of that week, like so good. I would not believe that person. Yeah, that I would tell you would be meditating from 4 a.m. till 8 p.m. and you would enjoy it. I will be like, no, I will not. Well, my butt will be on fire. And that's not gonna happen. But, so how would you think this event, now that we're talking about it, impacted your life? I feel like I've said it so many times and I'm going to say it again. It was the most life-changing, meaningful things one of the most life-changing and meaningful things that I've ever done. As far as impact, I'm going to keep doing the work because I keep seeing some really cool things happen. I'm opening myself up. So I forget who says it. I think it's Socrates says, know thyself. And I can't tell you how true that is. I can't tell you how many people go through life and don't understand themselves. They don't understand, why does my arm hurt? Why do I have diabetes? Why do I have all these things? They don't understand themselves. And it's because we have things locked in our brain that we haven't dealt with. We literally, our brain, we only use like 3% of our brain. The other 97% of our brain is holding on to all of our memories from the past. And if we haven't dealt with them in a meaningful way, we're going to manifest these things like disease in our life, or we're going to start attracting things that we don't want in our lives. And that's most of the time how people live their lives because they don't know that there's anything different.
And for me, I'm going to keep unlocking more and more of myself and understanding myself more and more, because the more I unlock about who I am and who God has created me to be, I'm just like, I have so much potential that I didn't even know was there. And every single person has so much power and potential. And we have no idea what we're capable of. But now that I've like gotten just a little bitty baby taste, I just want more. And it's just been so life-changing. So what about you? What about you?
How did it impact in my life? So, like I said, I was going pretty nervous because I didn't know what even do I even need it. I kind of felt like, well, there's so many people want to get in who like sick and they wanted some healing, or they're suffering and they want it so bad. Like, why did I get in? Like, I question it. Like, why me? Like, I kind of got all figured out basically, right? I'm living my dream life. Like, I'm in my perfect health, mental and physical. I'm in financial stability. I feel abundant and happy. Like, why do I need this event? I'm kind of like, I've made it. I have arrived, sort of feeling. But what happened for me at this event, like you said, now that I'm at peace with myself, like I figured out, why am I here? Why am I doing certain things that I'm doing? Why did past events happen to me? So I kind of like figured out a lot of it. And there's so much more to figure out, by the way. But I felt like that was a point for me to step into the next level. And kind of like this event gave me that affirmation is, yes, you're on the right path. And that's what you meant to do. So I kind of like, now I have to step up and lead other people's ways on their journey, because there's so many people who are, many steps behind, who are just starting this journey of self-discovering, and even this business journey that we are on because we want abundance, or personal journey we're on, we want a better relationship with ourselves and other people. So whatever journey these people are, it all starts from one moment where your soul nagging, and kind of like me being through all these little experiences from where they are and where they want to be. So I've been through all of it. So my next step is share my wisdom and share my knowledge and guide those people on their journey, and be the light and be the hope and be the person of wisdom or whatever. So it's kind of like, now they said when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Now I feel like I'm the teacher and I have to appear and the students will come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like it went a full circle sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's true, the people who want to hear this message, who are on this journey, who need this information, they come along and they crave it and they follow you and they want to stick to you. And it's true. So that's kind of like what it did for me. It assured me that I'm on the right path and this is my next step. So it was pretty cool experience. So what was your favorite part of the whole thing, if you could pick one?
So it's so hard to pick just one, because the energy in that place, you can't compare it. Like literally, like I remember Kat, one day there was a guy like literally having his moment and the energy was just flowing through him. And you said my arm was moving because he had so much energy flowing through him. Like the energy was off the charts. But my favorite moment truly was when I had my own breakthrough. It's not easy to get past yourself. It's definitely something that takes time and takes work. And like I said, I've been diligently, consistently working for a year now to get past myself. And Dr. Joe teaches a breathing exercise. And I had been practicing it at home and I was having some results, but I wasn't having the full-blown results of what they were showing us was possible on stage. Like they literally brought up people onto the stage and were showing us like, this is how you do the breath and this is what you can feel like. And the energy coming off of these people was, holy cow. Like, I remember feeling like, oh my God, that was so beautiful. And Kat and I looked at each other and we were like, oh, wow, that was amazing.
They were sitting probably 100 feet away doing this exercise, but they were not saying anything. They were just doing the breathing exercise and we were all crying. Like we could feel what they felt.
Yeah, it was amazing. So my moment happened on the very last day. It was during the 4 a.m. meditation that we had. And I remember Dr. Joe just told us to get after it with our breath. And I was like, okay, I'm going for it. And so I sat there and I could tell when I had hit it and I knew I'd hit it. And my whole body just, you feel warm, you feel numb, you feel tingly, and you feel whole. That's the most whole you will ever feel when you actually hit it right in your meditation. So I remember thinking to myself, wow, that felt so good. And instead of just letting it like ride out, I was like, I'm going to do it again. And so I started building on it, and I did it again, and I did it again. And then I literally, the only reason that I know I didn't open my eyes is because I had blindfolds on. But there was this moment where there was a screen in front of us. And we saw the screen before we closed our eyes to meditate that had a heart, and it was like all these bright yellow, orange, pink colors.
Like it was on fire almost.
Yes.
Like the fire was eliminated.
Coming out of this heart. Yeah. And I remember seeing that clear as day. And I was like, what's happening? I was like, this is really cool. And you just feel so whole. You feel so good. And then I remember hearing Dr. Joe from the stage, and I remember thinking, is that God? Because it was like my head, it was like I had earmuffs on, and it was like, it was warm, and it was just, I had these earmuffs on, and then I heard his voice. And I feel like the only reason I came down from it was because I was like, I need to continue to follow with him. Whereas later I learned, like, if I had just kept doing my own thing, it would have been fine too. But I was like, maybe I should come down and follow along with him. But I was having that transcendental moment of like, I can't explain it. You feel so whole. You feel so good. There's no other explanation for it other than, yes, there's a God, and he loves you, and he wants to take care of you. And you can connect with him if you're on the right wavelength as him. So that was my favorite moment.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The cool part that I didn't reach that, experience, but I knew how it felt because I have experienced it on my own in my home meditations when I was doing them. So I knew the feeling, I know how it feels. And he describes it as the most familiar feeling of love that's probably multiplied millions of times from whatever love you ever felt in your physical body, multiplied by I don't know how much, and that's how you feel. And you don't want to be anywhere, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to think about anything, you just want to be in that moment. And it's kind of like you become that energy, you become a part of it. It's not like, oh, it's floating somewhere and I'm right here. You're part of this huge giant, I don't know, universe. It's kind of like they describe it's like when you're on ecstasy, but I haven't tried ecstasy. So
yeah, I haven't either, but I was like, I'm pretty sure I was high.
I don't know how that feels, so I can't compare. So my favorite moment is actually a funny moment, and it probably was one of your favorite moments as well.
I know what you're going to say.
After one of the meditations, we had to lay down and kind of like finish it by laying down. And I think we'll lay about half an hour, right? But of course, some people doze off and it seems like you've been out for 3 minutes, but you've been out for half an hour. And at the end, so we're trying to come back from it. It's about to end. And the whole audience or half of the audience start hysterically laughing out of the blue. So, and I'm kind of like, I'm waking up from this dreamy floating state and everybody's laughing. So first I got very confused, like, did I do something wrong? And they're laughing at me. Like, so I had for a split second that kind of feeling, but then when it kind of like, I came to my senses, Karin like sitting next to me and laughing uncontrollably. And I'm like, what the F did I miss? How come they went somewhere fun and I didn't?
I didn't get to go.
I didn't get to go on the fun trip. So I felt kind of like I missed out. Like what happened? Like why I didn't go there? But anyways, so that was kind of like unique experience when everybody laughed. A little bit creepy for me because I didn't get to laugh and I felt left out. So 2 days later, we go out to eat at night to a restaurant and they didn't want to seat us. They didn't want to seat us in the main room because we were underdressed. So they seat us kind of like almost under the stairs next to the bar where people like us can sit. And it was so funny to me. Like it was the most funny thing I've ever heard. And as we're sitting at that table, we start hysterically laughing for no reason. And we laughed for probably 2 hours just because, well, people thought that we were high on some drugs.
What they thought, I don't care.
We were high on the energy that we were exposed to so many days. And I guess I feel like maybe that laughing energy got stuck in me somewhere. And 2 days later, it finally came out where I couldn't stop laughing. And I enjoyed it so much. Like, one of those silly laughs when you catch it and everything you say sounds funny. Even like some things came out of my mouth. I was like, did I really say that?
Yes, you did. I'll never forget the wipe moment.
I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember most of it. I I don't remember the details, like what I was saying and what I was doing, but I remember that energy and how it felt. That's probably the most spookiest thing you can describe. I knew that like it was kind of me doing those things. It was kind of wasn't. So it was weird. It was weird, but it was good weird.
Yeah.
So I will definitely probably go to the same place again and see if we can pull it again.
I know, right? And we have to dress the same way.
So they don't sit us in the main room.
Right.
We'll end up with the, not so well dressed people who literally slept on the floor for the last 4 days in their pajamas and sweatpants.
Yes.
And
And yoga pants. And
it was the most fun experience for me. So, so we definitely will continue this work, and we definitely want to go to another one of these events. And now that we know what to expect, even what to wear, like even if you go to Florida, don't bring your shorts when you go to meditate.
No, because you're gonna freeze in that room.
You want to bring blankets and coats and and socks.
Yes.
So anyways, it was so fun, experiencing and looking back at all what we experienced in the past. And I think we're going to do it again.
I'm doing it again. It's happening.
I'm doing it again.
It was amazing.
And now that I'm back meditating and doing the work, it will be even more powerful next time around.
Yeah. And like you said, we'll know what to expect and what's going to happen. So I feel like I'm going to be that much stronger when I do go again, and I'll have more of those really amazing breakthroughs again. So.
Yeah. And everyone else out there watching, if you can vibe with our crazy energy here, if you want to find out more what we do, especially if you're a network marketer on that journey of building your business or even self-discovery or combining those together, it could be a crazy roller coaster, and we've been through it. So we might even be able to help you and guide you now that we know that it's our calling or part of it. So tell us, Karin, where they can find you if somebody wants to connect with you and learn more what you do. And of course, they can find me on my page or on Beach Bus Influencers page. And you have a special page of your own.
Yeah, so you can find me on my website at karinangeli.com, or you can also find me on YouTube because I love YouTube. You can find me either type in my name, Karin Angeli, or Network Marketing Unicorn. Either you will find the crazy hair.
The unicorn energy, definitely.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, it was so much fun catching up with you. I'm pretty sure we're going to do some incredible things with this experience, and we're going to touch many, many lives.
Definitely. So glad to have shared it with you.
Yeah. Well,
love it.
Bye guys for now. We're going to see you.
So let me ask you, after watching that, is your mind completely blown? I know for me, I will never be the same after that event. It was truly phenomenal to be a part of that. I hope that you are able to listen in and really hear about how powerful your brain really is and how you can actually tap into that power so that you can actually grow your business, so you can get more customers, get more business builders, and actually build a thriving, healthy, happy business. And the best part is that if you're doing this work consistently, where you're actually manifesting things through meditation, you actually start to feel whole, just like I said in that chat that I had with Kat. So not only do you start to build a business, but you start to feel more whole, and you want to help other people do the exact same thing. So listen, if you want to learn all about what I learned about and just kind of get a taste of building a business with your mind, the book that started it all for me is called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I actually left a link for you in the description where you can actually go ahead and grab it straight away. But listen, if you want to work directly with me in my network marketing company and hear all kinds of stuff about how to build your business, not only the strategies of building your business, but also how to tap into the strategies of your mind, I also left a link for you to actually go ahead and apply to join my team as well. Make sure when you decide to tap on that link that when you go to that page that you actually see my name in the upper left-hand corner. Otherwise, you won't be joining my team and I won't be able to help you. So hopefully all of this was helpful in giving you some ideas as to how you can start creating more network marketing leads with the power of your mind. Now go build your unicorn empire.